Well, I did something. I got GreenStalk. Came in yesterday. I debated on it because it is a little pricey. We're running out of space, which is no surprise to me because I'm going to fill up the space without whatever greens and vegetables I want to try. But I'd like to do strawberries in it. I can't find strawberry starts right now. They are either out of stock or they've stopped selling them because strawberry season really ends in May. They don't fruit much during the summer. Most varieties don't fruit much. And so then they go back to the fall and you'll get a little bit of fruiting out of them in the fall. Again, some varieties. So I'm gonna take my 3 and I'm gonna put them in the holes in this GreenStalk. It has 30, sorry. It has 30 holes, 5 tiers, 6 each. So it has 30 spots for planting. But I only have 3 strawberries. So I'm gonna do bush beans at first. Bush beans will be done in about 60 days. And then hopefully my strawberries have produced runners and I'll just stick those in the holes and let them take off. Strawberries are perennial, so I'm hoping to not have to go back to that. I'm hoping to leave them and they'll grow. And it's supposed to be good drainage, so let's try it. It came with worm castings and a little packet of bush beans. It says that the fittings won't fit together properly until the weight of the soil is added. So I'm gonna have to add the soil as you put it together. That would be smart anyway, right? So before I get started, I moved everything out here to the garden. I'm gonna steal some more dirt from the middle bed. It's kind of where I threw my extra dirt. So you see here, I stole there, and this is probably too low, so I'm gonna have to stop on that side, but we still got a little bit left. And we've got some compost ready to use. I did think this came with a roller. It does not. The roller is an extra, I think, $45. I really did think that was part of this purchase. I don't know that I'll be getting one for that much for just a roller. I wasn't even sure where I was gonna use it. I'm not sure if I want to keep it in the garden or go ahead and put it in my sunroom. So, sun porch, really. These, though, I am very impressed how deep these are. Like, if I put my arm in here, it goes up to almost to my elbow. Very deep. You're going to be able to fit a lot in there. It's not going to dry out. I'm not worried about this. So it has 5 wells like this. I think I'm sideways, sorry. And then this is the top water, and that's the patented water system they talk about. 5, 4, and 3, they say to water it to 4, and it will trickle down the center. Oh, that's not bent. That's like that on purpose so that they fit together. So we'll look at that a little bit more. And then these gray ones go in the middle. And I couldn't get it to fit on, and that's when I looked at the directions and it said everything will fit together better once the weight of the soil is in the pot. So it has been engineered a little bit better than just my Dollar Tree stack over here, which is doing great, but those are all annual herbs. I don't know that any of those will come back in our zone. It's filling out really well, and I can say it's not dried out, but I think it's rained every other day at the longest, so it's not going to dry out right now. I've liked it. This was only $6, $1 for each tier at the Dollar Tree, but they ran out pretty fast too, or I would have got maybe a whole lot of those. This is only also going to have 3 around and only about as deep as my hand, whereas that is twice as deep it's going to be able to hold things like perennials. Bush beans are going to do better in there. It'll be worth it. So this is the first 3 tiers, and you're just doing the same thing every time. We filled them with dirt, and then you put this in the middle, and that goes down. This is the drip irrigation. This is just the center support. And then we will fill that one, but for your purposes, you set that there, and these connect around on these little guys. And still, it's so deep. I think we're going to get some good plants out of that. And that is 4 tiers, and it's almost to the top of the fence. So it's gonna, I think this is where it's gonna sit, over here by the compost pile, or compost. It's not a pile, it's a barrel. There we go. And so we'll add the last 2 tiers, and I'll show you the rest. We're just topping these off. I actually made a mixture of potting soil, garden soil, trifecta, and worm castings in this bucket. And that's what we have used. And then we're going to move the final 2 to the tower. We had to re-level it. The bricks were just a little bit off. And it's getting hot out here. And one more. It is getting close to 85, and I had to get changed again. I also brought our lovely umbrella out here, so maybe it won't be so hot. Shade me while I go around. I have a few varieties I'm going to try to show you. The navy bean is a bush bean. You don't want pole beans. Pole beans are going to need trellis. This actually came with the stock, so I'm going to try some bush green beans, although I have 2 varieties of pole green beans in my garden. I'm also getting buzzed by wood bees. The dragon tongue bush bean, I've never tried it before, but it's really beautiful. I'm going to do just 1 layer of each. Purple hall bean, it's like a black-eyed pea, also bush variety. And then in the bottom, it's actually not clear, but I'm going to hope it's a bush bean. If it starts making too many runners, I'll have to move it. But the midnight black turtle bean, which is a black bean. It actually says 5 to 6 inches, the spacing, and I'm going to actually do 1 on each side. Doesn't have to be that hard, just literally putting the bean in a little hole, poking my finger down about 1 inch, and putting 2 in there. Already settled a bit, so I just sat the beans on the top, and I'm going to come over and cover it with dirt instead of stopping and going. That way I could just get my beans in, and then I just set the seed packets where I planted them so I can make, I left that one off, it's over here, so I can make little actual tags later. And that's it. She's going to sit over here, and the only thing is we might have to rotate. I'm not sure. We'll see how good the ones on the back do and how good the ones on the front do, and we may or may not make or buy a wheelbase. I think I'm going to like it. So I do want to say that I didn't do all the strawberries that I said I was going to do, partially because I'm OCD and I don't want 3 strawberries on one side, and I just wanted the beans all even. I got to do a layer of each bean. I like that. Also because my 3 pitiful strawberries are blooming and they might give me fruit. And I'm hoping to get some strawberries out of it, even if it's just a couple to snack on. So after they're done blooming and fruiting, they'll start doing runners. Then I'll definitely have enough runners to fill this thing up, or start filling it up, because again, the stores don't have any strawberry roots. I filled it. I did soak the whole thing. I didn't just put it in the top, because the beans are going to need that initial soak for the bean to kind of activate and start coming out of its shell. So as you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's dripping. It's doing the little drip irrigation like it's supposed to in the middle, and it'll keep it wet in the right places. And hopefully, I'm hoping this is going to be a good investment.